Hello and welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today is my weekly WIP and chat, and if you are not familiar with what a WIP and chat is, that is a work in progress. Today I am going to work on a mini canvas from Oraloa, so grab something that you would like to work on and let's get started. I am working on this cute flip-flop. I have already started this, but I didn't get very far, and so I thought, well, I will just work on this with you guys. I have now finished 4, so I still have several to go before the end of the month. My goal is to finish this Oraloa mini kit by the end of the month. I can do it, and I think that I have set myself up to where I can, but we shall see. I'm going to start with, since I already started on the flip-flop, I might as well go ahead and work on that one too. I am using the tray bricks from Catered Art, and I do like these mainly for the fact that they are in individual trays. I do like that. I am noticing though that with these trays, I am having to go through and I have to shake them up more often than I normally would have to do. And that's okay. I don't really mind doing that. Hopefully, I will continue to like these because I got several for Christmas. And then I did have some that were sent to me. And I do have a tower as well to put these in. I'll know better on these once I go to kit them down. It is going to be an extra step in kitting down because of the fact that they don't have a spout. And so I'm going to have to pour the drills into another tray, I think. And then from there, I will have to pour them into my baggies. I don't see me pouring these straight away into my baggies. I could purchase a funnel that's for the baggies. I have seen those. I think that Bella Art has some, but I don't know if I want to do that just for this, but I might whenever I order something else from them just to see how that would work. But I don't know yet. I will have to let you guys know. But so far, I do like these. I've heard a lot of mixed feelings on the tray bricks. But it is nice just to have them already in the trays. I don't have to do that extra. So I guess in a way, even though it's going to take me longer to kit down, it's still saving time. So I think that's going to be a plus. But I'll keep you guys posted. I also have my mini canvas here. I have some washi on the ends because I keep hitting my hand or my wrist on the canvas and it moves the canvas, which is fine normally if I'm just doing it myself, but I don't want to get it out of frame and then you guys can't see it. So it is on here. It's not going to hurt anything. I do have a small binder that I could have put this on. It's just a clip binder, clipboard, but I decided I'll just do it this way for now. So right now it's working out fine. But hello, I want to make sure everybody feels welcome here. You are always welcome on my channel, whether you are here for diamond painting or you're just here. Maybe you want to just listen while I diamond paint and chat, and that works out perfect for a lot of people. I have friends that are card makers. Sometimes they will make cards and sometimes they will just listen. So whatever works for you, I'm just here to keep you guys company and know that you are keeping me company while I am diamond painting. I'm loving this pink. Pink is one of my favorite colors, and so this is absolutely gorgeous. I haven't seen this color in the Pixie or the Sparkle Dust before, and it is really pretty. I may have to put this on my list when I do order again from DP with sparklers. I am going to definitely want to get some of these to add to my stash in round and in square. Hope all of you have had a really good week so far. Of course, when you see this, it will be Tuesday, so early part of the week, but hopefully you had a nice weekend. Last week was such a busy week for all of us here. And by the time weekend rolled around, I still had a lot that had to be done, but that I didn't get done over the week. But I was still able to get in quite a bit of diamond painting on Sunday, so we'll have to talk about that. But we had so much going on last week. It just absolutely flew by, and so now I'm still trying to play catch up with work and different things around the house. But last week, I had to take Paige to the doctor on Monday just to get some blood work done so she can continue to take her thyroid medication, and got that done on Monday. Even though it was close by, it was still something that we had to do. So I was out of the house for a little bit and got back, started working again. And then on Tuesday, we had to get our hair done, and that took up half the day between driving and then also just being there. I have not had my hair done in absolutely forever, and usually I get it done every 5 weeks, and I just didn't, and it was driving me crazy. And I had to go out of town on Thursday with work, and I thought, I really do not want to go to this conference and my hair looking this bad, because it looked pretty rough. So did that on Tuesday. I took my computer, so luckily when we get our hair done, I am able to go ahead and have my computer and work and answer emails from students and grade papers and all that good stuff. So at least I got that done while I was sitting there. So killed 2 birds with 1 stone, as they say. And then on Wednesday, I had my card group on Wednesday night. We also had another appointment on Wednesday that I had to go to. And then I had to get some other things done for work on a project that I'm working on. So that was something else I had to do. And then on Thursday, that was the big day. I actually put too many on here. I actually had to get up at 4:30, which, believe me, that's something I do not do. I don't normally get up at 4:30 in the morning. I had to get up at 4:30. I had to leave here by 5:30, 5:45-ish. Then I had to drive to my campus. I had to get the work van, minivan, a caravan, and I had to wait on 6 students who were going with me. Took us almost 3 hours. We went to South Georgia to another school, and we were there all day long. We got there, we were in a lot of traffic. We got there at 9:45. The conference started at 10. They didn't give us hardly any breaks, which is quite unfortunate because people start to get really fidgety. I'm like, you people are instructors, or you have been in the past. You should know that when you do this, you need to have time for breaks. So we were in this conference doing different things all day. We did break for about 45 minutes for lunch, but they had lunch. They did not have lunch organized. They ordered Chick-fil-A. They gave us a choice of like 5 items. Then they normally have everything set out by school and it's done well in advance. So all you have to do at lunchtime, you just go and get your food that by that point was cold. And then you eat wherever and you talk to people, you mingle. But this time they had it so messed up that they didn't even start lunch until 20 minutes after the time they were supposed to. They didn't have anything organized. So we had to wait until our school was called for lunch, which of course was one of the last ones. And by the time that we got our lunch, it was like 10, 15 minutes before they had planned on starting back from lunch. So we had to choke our lunch down. And then they did say, well, we're going to take some extra time because there were several people that didn't get their lunch on time, which was us. So that we did start late going back. And then they were trying to make up for lost time. And we had no breaks after lunch. And then about 3:30, they said, we're going to start wrapping up about 4:15. And my boss was there, and my boss and I looked at each other, and she's like, we cannot stay this late. We are never going to get home because we had to drive through downtown Atlanta, which is disastrous, especially on a Thursday afternoon and in rush hour, and it had been raining. So we left a little early, and we got into tons of traffic coming back. It was awful. We got stuck because there was a stall right in the middle of the highway, and instead of them routing traffic around the stall truck, they just shut down the whole highway. So we sat there for a good 20 minutes, not even moving. And then finally we started moving. So we wasted about an hour there, which was not fun. And then from there, we moved a little bit more, and then we got into the worst part of it, downtown traffic. And we finally got back to the school at 6:45 that evening. So I had left the school at 7:15 Thursday morning and finally got back over 12 hours later, almost 12 hours. And then I had to fill out the paperwork. I had to drop the students off at the designated place where we told them we were going to drop them off. And then I had to fill the car up before I returned it. So I had to go do that. I didn't want them to have to wait while I went to fill the car up. And it's literally 5-10 minutes from school. So I went ahead and just dropped them off. And then I went and filled the car up, filled out all the paperwork, went back to school, dropped the key and the paperwork off at the school. And then I had to get in my car. By the time I got home, it was 8:30. I was absolutely exhausted. I don't like driving at night very much. It was cloudy. It was just awful. So then when I got home, my husband said, well, I stopped and we got dinner, and I went ahead and picked you up a salad. Well, I'd had a salad as my Chick-fil-A lunch, which was not very good. But the salad that he got me was, I'm like, I really, really don't like eating this late at night. But I was starving. We ate so early. It was around 11:30. So it wasn't that early for lunch at the seminar. But I didn't eat a whole lot of it because it just wasn't that much. It was mostly lettuce. So I ate that, and then I stayed up for just a little bit, kind of vegged out, kind of just sat around before we went to bed. We went to bed about 9:15. I lay there forever. I thought, I am never going to go to sleep. I was so tired. And I hate when I do that. I mean, do you guys ever do that where you're just so tired and you just lay there thinking of everything, sometimes thinking of nothing even, but I just could not get settled and go to sleep. So I finally went to sleep, and then Friday morning, I had to get up, had work to do since I wasn't able to do it on Thursday, and then I had to take Paige to work. We also had my future son-in-law stay with us from Wednesday of last week until Saturday, off and on. And he wasn't there on Thursday, but he stayed with us a couple of days because we really don't have a place for him to sleep. And I had to make him a pallet on the floor, and I had some foam, and I fixed him a bed, and he said it was fine, but he did stay a couple of days in a hotel just because get some rest. And he said he felt bad because he wasn't visiting with us. And I'm like, I totally get it. I wouldn't want to sleep on the floor either. So, it's no problem. Once we move, we'll have something figured out. But until we move, then we just don't have a place here for, a bed or anything. But it all worked out. And he left on Saturday. He was supposed to leave earlier. So he was here for about a week. And he was supposed to leave on Wednesday this past week because he had gotten here the week before, and he had to stay longer. He had some dental work done, and he wanted to go and have it here, even though they're in South Dakota, just because he had a lot of the dental work done here before, and he really liked this dentist, felt comfortable with the dentist, and it was cheaper here, even paying for a plane ticket and also having to stay in a hotel for a couple of days than it was where he was going to have to go in South Dakota. So he was here even on Valentine's. My daughter was calling. She's like, I'm really bored. And I'm like, I'm sure you can find something to do. He's going to be home on Saturday. And so it was nice having him here. And he helped Paige with one of the games that she was kind of stuck on. So that gave Paige something to do and somebody, to hang out with instead of us all the time. And then we did pick up dinner on Friday. Paige just loves ramen, and we have a ramen bar here. And so I had gotten her ramen after I picked her up at work, and then I asked my future son-in-law if he would like ramen, and he had already been there, I think, twice, but they don't have any place like that in South Dakota, and so he said that he wanted something too, so I went ahead and got him something. My husband refuses to even try it, and he ended up eating something at home. I told him, I said, I'll be glad to pick something up for you. Actually, he ended up going and getting Mexican. That's what it was. And so he said he'll just pick it up when he was ready. So he went to a Mexican restaurant that's close around here. He grabbed some Mexican while we ate our ramen. So that was nice. We knew we didn't want to get out because we thought it'd be crazy with traffic and people and things. And so we were just kind of at home. We all watched a movie together. So that was nice. And so that was pretty much Friday night. And then on Saturday, we went to an open house. We did put a contract on a house that we had been looking at for a little over a month. We kept going back and forth looking at this house. We really liked it, but it was an investment home that a local investor purchased. It was an older home, and they pretty much gutted this house. The bones were, it was stripped down basically to the bones of the house, bare bones of the house. Everything else was pretty much redone. And we've been looking at it. We weren't really sure about it because they were doing so much work. We couldn't really tell what it was going to look like. And we did go to an open house several weeks ago, and they were still working on it. And then we were looking around the neighborhood and we thought, well, based on how much they're going to sell this house for, we may be screwing ourselves over because we may be at the very high end of the subdivision here and we're not going to ever get our money back on this house. This is going to be our last house anyway, so when we get ready to sell it, it's going to be, we'll be going into an assisted living or whatever that we decide to do, or 55 and older, retirement home or something, retirement community. So we kept looking and looking, and the more that we kept looking at this house online and going by there and looking at the neighborhood, the more that we really, really liked it. And then I did a little bit of research and realized, oh, that's not the top of the market. They are selling these homes for more than what I thought they were. So, and they weren't even updated. So I thought this could be promising. Well, then I was telling my husband, I was looking at it and realized, oh, well, they just came down $5,000 on this house. So then I got kind of excited. I gotta find another color. Let's go with this pretty yellow. Got excited when I saw that they had come down $5,000 on the house. Even more excited the next day because I was just looking at it. My husband's like, we should put a contract on it if we like it that much. You want to go back? We can look at it. They were having an open house that Saturday, and he said we should go look at it. If we like it, put a contract on it. And so that's what we both agreed. It met all the requirements that we wanted. And then next day, I thought, okay, let's look at this. We're going to send, oh, I love this yellow. Oh my gosh, how pretty. This yellow is so pretty with this pink. So, sorry, I just got a little change it there. It was so pretty. We decided to go ahead and we're going to put a contract on it. And I was looking at it. I was going to contact our realtor and tell her that we're going to the open house, see if she wanted to meet us at the open house on Saturday, or if she wanted to just put a contract on it. What is that? If she wanted to just put a contract on it instead for us, or if she felt that she needed to go and look at it. And while I was looking at it, I'm like, oh my goodness, it went down another $10,000. So I thought, they are serious. The investors are serious now. They're ready to sell. So I called my husband and I'm like, you're not going to believe this, but the house just went down another $10,000. And so he said, then we definitely need to get on this. Let's go ahead and call our realtor and talk to her. And so we had planned on going down to that, about the price that they were asking. And so we decided, well, we're going to counter on this with just, a little bit of difference. And so we did. And we were going to wait until Saturday. And then our realtor called me and she said, look, they're getting a lot of activity now in this house because that they've gone down on this, that it's a really good price. They've gone down on it. They're getting some, not offers, but there's a lot of people that are interested. And she said she had several of her clients that had been watching that house too, and they were interested. So, or future clients. She said that they had sent her a message wanting to see the house, and so they didn't want to do it during the actual open house. They wanted to do it on their time, and she was telling us that. So I called my husband back, told him, and he said, look, we need to go ahead and just do this now. If we really like it, we want this house. And so we had been talking about it for a long time. So we went ahead and put a contract on it. They accepted our offer immediately. They remembered us because we had been there the one time during the open house. their first open house, and we were there for a couple hours just talking to the investor. I mean, she is a talker. Her husband wasn't there. He's also an investor. They both are. And she was talking to us. We were talking to the realtor, who is like her best friends. They had it all worked out. And we were asking a lot of questions about the house. So we felt really comfortable. We were all excited. Paige was really excited about it. And it meets everything that we were looking for, except for one very big item that I wanted. And that was to be right in the heart of the mountains. But we had talked about that and decided against it anyway. We're still in North Georgia. We're in North Georgia mountains, but we're not like right there in the mountains. We're close enough. One of the reasons, there were several reasons, but one of my husband's friends who also works with him had a medical emergency. And they had a problem because of the lack of medical care in the mountains. Apparently, it's not that great. And so he was telling us, and that made us nervous. Although we are all healthy, if we're going to live in this house for as long as we possibly can, then I really want to make sure that we have access to good health care. And that was one thing. Another thing is that this is kind of lame, but in the the town we were looking at, they were letting people have their chickens and have roosters. Well, I'm okay with that to a certain extent. What I'm not okay with is the fact that they are free roamers. They can roam around. They don't have to be caged up. They don't have to stay on their property. I've had some people that I met that live in the mountains, and they told me that they were having a nightmare of a time with roosters that were chasing them on their own property. They were damaging their property. They were scaring their animals. And so I told my husband, I do not like roosters. I had an encounter with a rooster when I was younger. My great-grandmother had a rooster. She had a couple. One of her roosters, his name was Walter. Of all names, I don't know why she named her rooster Walter, but she named her rooster Walter. And Walter and I did not get along very well. Walter could not stand me. I could not stand Walter. And when as soon as I would get out of the car, it would be my mom and I, and sometimes my aunt, my cousin, and Walter didn't bother them. Walter could not wait until I got out of the car, and he started antagonizing me. My great-grandmother said it's because Walter loved me, and he wanted to play with me, and I was absolutely scared of Walter because Walter hurt. He made weird noises. He could fly to a certain extent, and I was not a fan of Walter. So I do not want any more Walters in my life. Any kind of rooster, any kind of chicken. I could be okay with chickens. She had chickens, and I would hold the chickens and, talk to them. And I was okay with chickens, but not okay with Walter the rooster. So that just made me uncomfortable when I went out there one time and saw a bunch of roosters. So my husband thought that was funny. I'm like, no, I'm not going to deal with that ever again, having to deal with a rooster. So that was another reason why we decided that the mountains probably wasn't the best ideal place for us. And we do like to get out, go out to eat every now and then. And if I'm trying to see what color I need next, it's pink. I'm not sure what all of these are. I don't know if this is it. I'm still trying to figure out where I've put all of these. This is not what I'm looking for. So just based on several decisions, we decided we were going to be this. Oh, I'm sorry. I just bumped you guys. I'll have to fix that. So we decided that that would not be the ideal location for us to live. And I'm okay with it. And we're close enough to the mountains to where if I want to go and spend some time in the mountains, I can. But everything else that we've gotten for this house, we really do like. It has the open concept. I wanted something more new. My husband did not, because he says that, newer houses, they have more problems. Older houses are built better, and I agree with that. But I don't want an old house that we had to do a lot of renovations on. Like, no, we say we're going to do it. We never do until we decide we want to move, and then we start doing renovations. So this house, because it is old bones, but it is new pretty much on everything else. And even the roof was new. So because of that, I thought, okay, he's getting his old house. I'm getting a new renovated, not a new house, but close enough for me, renovated house with all the new stuff. Very nice kitchen, which is what I wanted. I wanted a really nice large shower. I didn't care about having a tub. And so that's what we got for our bathroom. It's a really nice shower. At least it looks like it is. We'll find out once we move. And we got a really nice deck, very small yard. I didn't want a large yard, but it backs up to a river. You can't see the river from our house, but they say in the winter when all of the trees, the limbs, are dead and they're off, that you can see the river a little bit. You can hear the river. My husband is going to clear a path to the river. It's going to take some time. It's a lot of brush and a lot of trees. And it backs up to the Corps of Engineers property, so we have to see how far back that our property goes. And then he also is going to call them once we move to ask if we can actually set a path to go down to the river, if that is allowed. And hopefully it will be. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. Hopefully it will be okay. I think it will be, but he wants to ask them if it's okay. We are going to have some trees taken down, but my husband used to love to fish, and he would fish almost every weekend with his brother. And sadly, his brother passed away years ago, and he has not fished since then. So I've been talking to him about, fishing and how much he loved fishing, and that he should think about getting back into it, and that, his brother would have wanted him to. I never met his brother, but it sounded like he would have wanted him to. And my sister-in-laws and my mother-in-law tells me, yes, he would have wanted him to continue. And so I think now that my husband he's excited about it, and he says he definitely wants to clear a path, and that can be like his sanctuary. Sometimes that if he just wants to go and just be alone, or some quiet time or whatever, that he would be able to just go to the river. And so I think that is a great idea. I have a bonus room. Where this goes, I have a bonus room that will be my craft area. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be bigger than what I've had in this house. The house is smaller, so we definitely downsized. That was something else that I really wanted to do. So now I just hope that the downsize part that it's good that my husband can't say, well, I tried to tell you that we need a bigger house, but I think we will be just fine. So now is starting the process once again of packing everything up. But I keep telling myself this will be the last time that I'm going to be boxing all this stuff up for a very, very long time, or that is the plan. And hopefully that will be the plan. Now I need to do the background. Let's look at check marks. I don't have this in the order that I normally would, and I am having a hard time. Okay, so let's do check marks here. And I think that we're all going to be really happy in this house. I have not started packing again yet because we just put the contract on it last week. We've already had some due diligence done. They only found a couple of small issues when we had an inspector go out and look at it. He was very impressed with the quality of work that has been done on it. He found a couple things that we were already told that he would more than likely find, and they were correcting it. It was just a small repairs, and they didn't know if it would be done by the time that, now this is moving again. They didn't know if it would be corrected by the time that we had the inspector there, and it wasn't. So we'd already known about that because they had told us, and then the inspector found one other small issue, and they're going to take care of that for us. And that's pretty much it. So we are expected to close on the house the middle of March. So in the United States, closing goes fairly quickly. It usually takes around 30 days if you don't have any issues or anything like that. We were already approved for a loan before we even found a house. So now they just have to do all the due diligence and get everything transferred over and all that good stuff. But hopefully we will have a house by the middle of March. We do have to give a notice at our rental. We have to give 2 months notice. And so we're going to wait until March to do that because we want a little bit of time to get out of here. We don't have to rush. My husband has been super busy at work, so he doesn't want to have to rush to be able to have to get out of here. And I've been really busy between work and Madison's wedding and all that fun planning stuff. And no, it's not fun. I'll be glad when it's over. But I've had so much of that going on that we want to give ourselves, a couple of months anyway. So we're going to wait until March, give notice here. So we'll have until about the end of April to get out of the rental. That should not be a problem whatsoever because I still have a lot that I never unboxed. My craft room, what little room I have in this house, it is going to take me the longest. And even then, some of my crafts, I'm going to cover this up so my hand doesn't keep hitting on the glue. A lot of my craft stuff is still in boxes in our garage, so that's definitely a plus. I'm going to start boxing some things up this weekend because that's one of the first things my husband wants to take over. We like to move, or my husband likes to move some things, boxes, on our own, and then we have movers that moves the heavy things, all the furniture, washer and dryer, that kind of stuff. And we've got to make an appointment for them, and then we do have to, once we give our 2 month notice here, we also have to pay 2 months extra to get out of our lease. And so we've been prepared for that. Anyway, they have our last month rent that you have to pay before you move in. You pay first and last month's rent. So we've already gotten that done. And then they're holding a security deposit, which we should get all of it back. So we're really only having to come up with 1 month, and then we'll get that back. And we had all of that planned whenever we moved here, so we're not like we're out of any money or anything. That was something we had planned in advance. But as much as I've enjoyed living in this rental, I've really enjoyed our neighbors. It's quiet over here, and it's a good location. And I really like the setup of the house. I like the fact that it was new, so that was nice too. But I'm ready to have my own place again. I am ready to go ahead and get everything unboxed, get my house set up again. I am ready to get my pictures out and decorate. I didn't see any point in decorating here because it's just more that I'd have to unbox, more that I'd have to do here. And I knew it's going to be a very short stay. But I am definitely looking forward to having another decent sized craft room. That was another must whenever we were looking for a house. And that was more so my husband was telling me, when you make sure that you have a craft room, you have plenty of room. He has all kinds of tools and things. He has plenty of room. And Paige has plenty of room. So we're all good. Paige is really excited about it. So that'll give me time to get all of that organized. Then in May, I have made reservations to fly to Sioux Falls for Madison's graduation from nursing school. She does not get her nurse's pin until July. And I don't know if I'm going to go back for that. I have not decided yet. It's before the retreat in Virginia, so that's definitely a good thing. But going to South Dakota is so expensive. It is just crazy expensive to fly there. And then I have to stay in a hotel, and I'm not sure. There's also some things going on that I may need to go back later to South Dakota. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. And I thought, well, at least if I'm there for graduation, I don't really need to spend another $800 or whatever it's going to cost me for flying to go to South Dakota just to see them pin her. That would be nice. I would hate to miss it, but it just may not be possible. But I am looking forward to going in May. And then when I come back from there, I'll have a week and a half, and then she's getting married. Then we're going to North Carolina. I've already made hotel reservations for that for the three of us. My best friend and her husband are going, and I think they're staying in the same hotel that we're going to stay in, so that will be fun. And then that following weekend, after I come back from Maddie's wedding, then I have to go to Texas for work, and that is if we win in a competition any of my students do, and we go to Texas to nationals, and they're going to compete. So May is now full for me, and then July might be if I go for her pinning ceremony, because I'm also going to the retreat. So right now, from now until July, it is going to be absolutely crazy. So I don't know if I'm going to meet my diamond painting goals this year or not. All that to say, I don't know. And I am actually not even worried about it. Normally, I would be a little, nervous, thinking I'm not going to meet my goals. Okay, I need to maybe change my diamond painting goals and reduce my diamond painting goals to something that will be achievable. But for now, I am just going to keep my goals the way that I have them. And if I meet my goals, great, wondermiss. If I don't meet my goals, great, wondermiss. I will have at least diamond painted, enjoyed my time with you guys, and get to work on various paintings that I may not have done or just kept putting off because I didn't have a reason to do them, if that makes sense. And I am working on getting organized still. I couldn't really get organized here in this rental. I just don't have the space. But I have been going through and taking pictures of all of my diamond paintings, in the pictures of the box, the ones that do have the outside thumbnails. I've been doing that, and I am putting them on the app that I'm using. And so that way I will have a list. And then once I get that part done, then I'm going to go through and update my Excel schedule. I had gotten so behind. I just hadn't done it in a very, very long time. So I just decided I'm starting all over and making sure that it's updated. So that's what I did. I don't even know how many diamond paintings that I have right now because of that. But once we move, we get settled, I am really in the organization mode, or I am right as of now. Hopefully I will stay that way. I want to be organized by the end of this year. I want to be extremely organized with everything, not just diamond painting, but my entire craft room, whatever I decide that's going to look like, what I want to continue working on, which will be more than likely just my cards and diamond painting, of course. But I really need to be better organized than what I have been in prior years. And I am so sorry. Molly is outside. She's playing with the neighbor's dog, our next door neighbor's dog, and they are barking and running around and having a great time. So if she is barking and you hear her, I do apologize. I will try my best to get to at least muffle the sound as much as I can. But she is just having a wonderful time with our neighbor's dog. And Paige is supposed to be watching her and keeping her quiet while I am working on my videos. But apparently Paige didn't understand that memo, which is fine. It's all good. Molly has been really good for the most part on my videos lately. She hasn't been barking, and so I can't really say too much. Once we do move, it should be better. And we have neighbors, but they're not on top of us neighbors. We have space in between our neighbors, and I don't think either neighbor has dogs. It didn't seem like it. I don't know about the neighbors across the street or anything. Nobody really has fences. I mean, you can. I've seen fences out there. There is an HOA that really doesn't do much. But we are going to make sure that Molly has a fence before we move. And for those of you that might be new, Molly is my almost 5-year-old collie who is very active. She is a barker. She loves to bark. And that's something that I really need to get a handle on. I need to take her into a trainer and get them to help me with that part. Otherwise, I don't have any problems with her. She's a really, really good dog. But she does like to bark. Especially when she plays, she likes to bark. She can be very noisy at times. Our cat just looks at her like, could you please shut up? And sometimes the cat gets aggravated with her barking, and she will go over there and she will swat her with her paw. She never gets her claws out, but she'll swat her, and the dog just looks at her like, okay, I'll calm down now. Thanks for the reminder. But today she is just beside herself. Anything else going on with us? Not really. Other than the fact that we are moving again. I'm sure you guys are really sick of hearing about us and moving. We couldn't wait to get out of our house, finally sold our house, and now we're moving again. I guess the one good thing is it gives me something to talk about. Otherwise, I don't have a whole lot. We don't have any plans for spring break, which isn't until April this year. Spring break is a little bit later for us. I'll be working from home for 2 days, and I have 3 days off during spring break. And then I'll be working in our new house, trying to figure out where I'm going to put things. I'm sure I'm still going to have to downsize on some of my things, and I am fine with that. I really am excited that we are downsizing on our house. I just do not need a large house anymore. I want to be able to clean less, have less to maintain, and on the weekends, I want to just sit in my craft room and play, mainly diamond paint. With diamond painting, I had a very productive Sunday. Saturday, not so much, because my future son-in-law was still here, and he left around lunchtime. And then once he left, we just hung out around here a little bit, and then we went to the open house. They went ahead and still had the open house for our house because it was too late for them to just cancel it. And it was rainy and nasty and cold. Nobody showed up for the open house, which was good because right after the open house, they put an under contract sign out there. So now nobody else can go in and look at it, which is good because I really don't want anyone tracking in on the carpet. It's new carpet. They do have plastic on the carpet, but still, I don't want anybody else now in our house. But I did a little bit on Saturday. And then on Sunday, after church, I decided that I'm just going to spend the afternoon. I should have worked on some projects for work and then with another company I'm working with for their accounting, but I didn't. I was just so tired from the week. I just stayed in my room. I made 2 cards that I needed to make. And then after that, I just decided I'm going to diamond paint, and I finished 2 of the minis, and they turned out really cute. And that was my 2 Orloas. I'm loving these Orloa minis. I hope that they decide to have more that are going to be released. And I also kitted up another mini kit that I cannot show you guys yet on my channel. I am doing it for a diamond painting company. I cannot say which one because they are keeping it under wraps right now for possible mini diamond paintings. And I kitted that one up. I did 2 of those, and they are so adorable. They are basically prototypes of what they may sell, and they wanted me to do a couple of them and let them know what I thought. So I am doing that this week. So I got those done. I am going to count those as finishes once I finish the batch of the ones that they sent me. It's also with a different manufacturer. So I thought, yeah, I'll do this. I'll be glad to do it. So I did that, got that kitted up, did one of those on Sunday, one on Monday. And then I did 2 sections of my Garden Girl, turning out really good. I'm getting closer. And I did 1 section of White Christmas. I'm still loving that kit, even though White Christmas has some gaps, some gapping at the top. I'm okay with it. I did quite a bit of that, and then I did 1 section of a cross stitch conversion from Diamond Art Studio UK, and that's by days. So I did 1 day on that one. It is a mystery. It's a Woodlands mystery. So once I get that one finished, I am going to show it to you guys, but I will give you plenty of warning. So if you don't want to see it, totally get it. But I'm just doing it every now and then. It's like a little side project that I'm working on. Did not work on my dragon seasons at all. I was going to, and I just ran out of time on Sunday. And then Monday of this week, today's Tuesday for me. Normally I like to do these on Monday, but Monday just was completely out of the question. And on Tuesday, on Monday, I had a lot that was due for work. So I was just not able to do any diamond painting on Monday. I actually stayed up last night until 11:30 grading papers that needed to be done. So got all of that done, and I was working from 6 o'clock on Monday morning, and I took a short break to go and pick up groceries and cook dinner, and then had dinner, and then I got back to it, and I finally finished at 11:30 last night, and I went straight to bed, slept all night, which I guess maybe I should start working more at night. I might sleep better. And then so Tuesday today, I worked until 10. It's still early in the morning today, and thought I'll go ahead. I will do my video so I can get it out around 3 Easterns, which I've been liking to do. And then once I finish up my video, I might have time to go ahead, and I'd love to video my Thursday that I already know what I'm going to be doing. Get that done. That will be really nice. So I do have several WIPs going on, which I'm okay with it. I mean, at first I thought I can't do that because I have the channel. I won't have enough to show you guys. And then I started thinking, okay, I'm doing the channel for fun. What would I do if I did not have the channel? Would I stick to 1 or 2 diamond paintings? Would I want to have a quick finish? How would that look? And I started thinking about that. Actually, I started thinking about that last year. And I would do what I'm doing now. I would do more than one. I would go back and forth on it when I finish them. That would be great if I had multiple finishes in 1 month. If I didn't have any finishes in another month, well, that's okay. As long as I get the finishes eventually done. I'm in no hurry. I don't have a reason to be in a hurry for any of these. I'm not giving them as gifts. I am going to put them up in my craft room, so I'm going to have more wall space, but I have plenty to put up that I can switch out. And so this is exactly what I would be doing. And so I thought, you know what? I am going to do what I would normally do. I feel more comfortable this way. It is me. There's no point in me trying to do something that I'm not, just to have views or just to have something to show. And so then I started thinking, okay, let's do this. Let's set up a calendar and let's see if I can fill it with what I want to do. So I did that for this week and for next week, so the rest of February, which is hard to believe that we're about to go into another month. And then I filled up all of March, 3 days of videos for each week. Filled it up with no problem, and that only included one finish. So I am kind of happy with that. So hopefully you guys will be okay with that too, that you don't need to see a bunch of finishes, that you are good with WIP and chats and then unboxings here and there, and just to be able to spend some time with someone who loves to diamond paint and somebody who is authentic and just likes to enjoy the process. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And hopefully you guys will be here for that. I have recently hit 3,000. Never thought I would get that far. And I'm almost at 3,100. So that went pretty quickly. And I do appreciate all of your support, whether you are new here or whether you have been here forever. I definitely appreciate that. I am going to be wrapping up my mini event at the end of February that Kemba's Crafts, and I have been doing. It's gone really fast too. For those of you that have participated, I hope that you have enjoyed the process and getting to meet other people who are working on minis as well. It's been a lot of fun. I have really enjoyed it. I'm thinking next year I need to get with Kim and see what she is thinking about this, that we might want to move the mini event from March to a later time in the year, or move our Josephine Wall event to a later time. And if you guys like it back to back that way, we can still consider it. The only thing that I was kind of thinking of is that with the sponsors, I feel bad asking sponsors to actually sponsor so close together, but the majority of the sponsors that we already have for Josephine Wall and the ones that we do have for the mini, they're different. They're different sponsors, so I think that is going to be okay. And some, if they don't mind doing it back to back, it's not really back to back. There is a month there, so we won't start the Josephine Wall until April. I am moderating the Reagathon that's coming up in March. And if any of you are interested in that one, let me know and I will direct you to the Facebook group of where they're having that. I will be working on a Reagan Kubitschek. I'm not sure which one yet, but I need to get it unboxed and kitted up, decide if that's what I'm going to work on. I have several of hers, although I have never done one. But I really like her artwork. Her artwork, I think, is really cute. I think I know which one that I'm going to do, but not 100%. And now that the dog is quiet and not barking, now we have the trash trucks coming through. And that one is pretty loud, so I don't know how well I can distort that. And my window in my craft room is facing the street, so it is right at our driveway, and so I can hear them coming down the street. Always something. I try to account for everything that could possibly happen when I am recording, and it never fails. I'm really liking these sparkles too. These are really pretty. This white. I have not purchased anything, although a friend of mine has, that she wants me to do for her. I was going to buy this canvas. I'm not going to say what it is yet because I want it to be a surprise. But I was going to buy a canvas, and it's a new to me company, new to her company too. I don't know much about the company. I think it might be AI. And not that anything is wrong with that, but then when the one that we were looking at came out, the cost was crazy. And I wasn't sure. I thought, I can't do this right now. And she really wanted to, but she's like, she's a beginner diamond painter, and she likes it okay, but she just likes to do minis. She likes to do some stickers. She doesn't like to do full diamond paintings, and this thing is rather large. And so she wants it for her business. She wants to put it on the wall of her business. And so I said, oh, I would love to do this, but I just don't have a place for it. If I'm going to spend this kind of money for a diamond painting, I've got to have a place for this. It's going to take a long time because it is huge. And so she's like, would you want to do this? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, what, even though it's AI? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine, because I don't see where it is, it's not infringing on anything. So I think that it will be fine. It looked good. And so she bought it, and she wants me to do it. And I said, now, you cannot be in a hurry for me to finish this. It's going to be on the back end, something that is probably going to take me a couple of years to do. And she's okay with it. She's like, well, I'm not going to be ready anyway. She's opening up a new studio, and she's not going to be ready anyway until the end of next year or so for it. And so I said, okay. So we'll see. I always get myself into these things, always. But it will be fun. It will be a challenge. But once that comes in, it could take a couple of months for it to come in. So once that comes in, I will unbox and I will share it with all of you. It does have 100 colors, and I love the more colors, the better. So I am good with that. I'm going to put this one down. And I got quite a bit done today on this little mini. I think it is so adorable. I just love these flip-flops. Love the colors in this. And I wanted to show you the ones that I have finished. I have these right here. I'm going to move this. I'm going to show you guys the ones I finished. And I will finish these flip-flops later today, because I'll have to get these finished. They're just really cute. I don't like having them not covered. I am going to just cover this here. This is just release paper. Just just covering it just a little bit so the cat won't bother it. But these are the ones that I've finished. I've already shown a couple of these more than once on here, but there's the little pineapple drink. Then I have this cute little fish. This one so far is my favorite. I love the little fish. And then this is like a magnolia blossom. Not 100% sure, but it's like a magnolia blossom. And then this one is a very colorful drum. Now this one took me a little bit longer. Even though there was a lot here, I was able to multi-place, which that was a lot of fun. But the drum took me a little bit longer. So I have those 4 done. And then hopefully next week, before I have my WIP and chat, I will have more and I can show you the ones that I have finished for this week. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you have not subscribed, I would love to have you here. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.